Isaiah 47:14, and it reads, "They shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it." Giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Power of Israel, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Mashiach Yahushai. Double honor to the mighty men, the elders, and the apostles in the community, waking up the lost sheep of the house of Israel in these last days. Peace and blessings to everyone doing this truth and helping this sincerity. Again, I'm going to say Shalom. Quick article, some precepts not ended. Let's read this quick article. It says, Israel targets rockets launches in Gaza. IDF wants Israel near borders to take shelter. May 10, 2023. I was at the plantation. I just got out of there. And there was a lot of activity. Okay. They always have a CNN, but they were showing, Israel still catching a lot of rocket fire. Right? And I brought out a video recent, okay, going into the judgment, because before America's wiped out, there's a smaller America out there, in the so-called Middle East, and that tension's only getting worse, because you have to keep in mind, Hamas, Gaza, Syria, they're all armed by Iran, okay, and they're backed by Russia. And this is something the United States media, they sleep in this to the American sheepfold, that this war condition, okay, this war condition is going to get worse. Did not go into like Russia retaliating, okay. There was no breaking news of some type of conflict in Ukraine. Most of the attention was on the former president at a town hall, like, giving basically a campaign run. That was basically like most of the news. They were looking into that. There was no real coverage on Russia and Ukraine, right? As I said, this retaliatory strike, I believe that's America, and of course baby America in the Middle East. It only makes sense. Let's go into this article. Israel targets rocket launches in Gaza. IDF wants Israeli near borders to take shelter. Israel began another round of strikes Wednesday against Palestinian Islamic Jihad. This time the strikes are against rocket launching sites, and at least one member of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad rocket crew was killed, according to CBS News. The military has ordered Israeli residents on Gaza border to stay inside, and for the first time since Israel announced its intention to attack terrorist targets, sirens have sounded in the coastal city of Ascalon and other towns in the vicinity of Gaza Strip. Hundreds of rockets have been fired at Israel so far. Read that again. Hundreds of rockets have been fired at Israel so far. Like I just said, I'm telling y'all, who you think Slovakia, who you think arming these groups? It's not just Iran. It's Russia. And this is a war that could escalate. Okay, I didn't even mention the Sudanese crisis. And there's always hype with China and Taiwan, but no immediate takeover. But these proxy wars, they're starting to elevate. right? It says hundreds of rockets have been fired at Israel so far. Reading on. The strikes are designed to degrade the terror group's ability to fire rockets to southern Israel. Tuesday night, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned terror groups within Gaza not to harm Israeli civilians. Y'all know I deflect Isaiah 2 and 4 and Micah 4 and 3. Something don't add up. And it's very sad. Most people coming out of the Vatican, okay, Christianity, Christians, y'all have access to that Catholic Bible, and the answer's in there. Okay. Why so much war? But I'm gonna just read on. Y'all know I'm going with that. We're gonna read on. After Slovakia. After the Palestinian Islamic Jihad fired more than 100 rockets into Israel last week, Netanyahu authorized strikes to target 3 of the group's top leaders. Israeli policy is clear. Those who seek to harm Israel will be harmed, the prime minister warned. Those who kill our citizens will pay a heavy price, and those who fire on our cities and civilians will be held responsible for their actions. It may take time, but Israel will ultimately reach these terrorists. No one should doubt Israel's resolve to defend its citizens. The strike succeeded in taking out much of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad brain trust, although at least 12 others died in the air attack. As always, Israel tried to minimize civilian casualties, and the state of Israel regrets any harm caused to non-combatants. Netanyahu said in his Tuesday night address, "The difference between Israel and our enemies is that we make every effort to keep enemy civilians' populations out of harm's way, while our enemies make every effort to deliberately target our civilians. We mourn the loss of innocent lives. They celebrate the loss of innocent life." Israeli security experts told CBN News the Israeli strikes restored a level of deterrence, that Iran is the power behind the PIG. Did not say that? Again, Israeli security experts told CBN News that Israeli strikes restored a level of deterrence and that Iran is the power behind the PIG. Former Israeli Defense Forces international spokesperson Slovakia Avida Lovich told CBN News, "It's all part of Iran's strategic objective. Iran is the main director of the initiatives of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. It's the funder. It's also the training element. I mean, at the end of the day, these terrorists need to know how to prepare a drone, how to arm a drone, how to prepare an IED explosive device, and Iranian experts are actually helping them achieve these terrorist goals." She added, "The most important message I will tell the American audience is Iranian presence. In three out of Israel's 4 borders, there's Iranian presidents. In 3 out of Israel's 4 borders, there is Iranian presence. And I don't mean it in a positive way. I mean Iran is trying to build some kind of a network terror group by delivering their armed strategic weapons, different capabilities. They say it loud and clear. They don't want Israel to exist." That's the end of that article. And that's only going to increase, right? That condition's only going to increase. Okay? That's more so ongoing proxy war. But it's a problem. Okay? I'm going to refer to it as Little America. Little America has a problem in the Middle East because who's backing Iran? Russia. Now, this article did go into Iran funding those conditions. But they didn't mention the Russian element. All these proxy wars, it's going to turn to a bigger escalation of war and chaos and judgment, right? That's the end of that article. Let's get some scriptures, and we're going to end this video. We're going to read let's read the book of Isaiah 47 and let's read Isaiah 47:11. It reads, "Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know." Because the condition, it's only going to get worse. This war condition. Because little America is way more vulnerable than Babylon the Great. And from the look of things, if little America is destroyed first, you already know what's coming to Babylon the Great. The ICBMs. But it's just, they're way more vulnerable. Right? And you have to anticipate that condition, which the media don't really hype. That's a serious, severe condition, because from the logistic things, honestly, that condition's, it's getting worse. Because all the hype is China, Taiwan. But what happens if little America is under severe attack? Okay, Babylon the Great would have to get involved, and you're still going to have a mass conflict. It'll be America fighting Iran in support of the Israelis, right? And they still have to concern themselves with China overthrowing Taiwan, and that's imminent. That's going to play out at some point, very soon. Let's read this again. Isaiah 47 and verse 11, it reads, "Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know." So with the famine, plague, and pestilence since it's like ancient Egypt. America is just going to be overwhelmed. And they're already being overwhelmed with everything happening regarding, the violence, okay, the killings, okay, the natural disasters, the crashing of the economy. They're already being overthrown. The Heavenly Father, He moving at a very similar pace before He overthrew them Egyptians about 4,000 years ago. America is getting hit with the same judgment. All praise to the Most High. Let's get a few more. See if I get a few more. We're going to go up. Because the United States media, it's bullshit, man. And they sell these feel-good narratives, but they're not telling you the judgment that's really playing out. Let's go up. Isaiah 47 and 10. "For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else is beside me." And America's proud and bold. And they actually think nothing's going to happen to them. That's why it's extremely urgent to keep the commandments. Because when the sudden judgment come through, it's like the whole thief and the knife parable. It's just going to be a sudden judgment. And ultimately, it's going to lead into that great judgment. Going into that final Exodus, you know, okay, the great destruction. Okay, going into that fiery destruction of this wicked kingdom. These days are coming, y'all. I have to enforce the sudden judgment. That's something I'll continue to push while I can, right? Let's see if there's any more. See if there's any more. I'm gonna end this video. We're gonna end it here. And, you know, it's urgent for the scattered Israelites to just come into the knowledge of the truth and keep the commandments. Because if you continue to follow in the ways of Babylon the Great, the paganism here in the United States of America, and continue to follow that vibration, you're going to get cut off. Right? And if you take on a wicked characteristic, that spirit, this is the judgment. Isaiah 48:22. It says, there is no peace, said the Lord, unto the wicked. I'm going to read that again. There is no peace, said the Lord, unto the wicked. Yeah, so that destruction is going to follow. Right? It's symbolic, but you know, the wicked time is short. And there's a harsh judgment coming onto the wicked. Let's get that. Let's get the legend in Revelations 20. Now I need that. This is the ultimate end game for the wicked. Let's read it. Revelation chapter 20. And verse, we're going to read 20 and 10, and I'll jump down to 15. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Okay. We're going to jump down to 15. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. And that's going into this fiery judgment that's pending for the wicked. Okay? That wicked seed line, they're going to get burnt away. And that's parabolic to Obadiah 1:18. They will be burnt away. Okay? From the top. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. And that's going into that nuclear destruction. When them finishers begin to make impact and destroy all this land and just take it off the map. Okay? But with that, to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Power of Israel, Yahweh, Ba'Shem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the mighty men, the elders, and the apostles, and the community, waking up the lost sheep, the house of Israel in these last days. Peace and blessings to everyone doing this truth and humbleness, sincerity. Israel, I love y'all. Shalom.